Chapter 3744. Wang Xian's eyes were filled with coldness when he heard the threat from the Fire Phoenix. If there weren't the rules of the pinnacle races in the Nine Origins universe, the Dragon Palace would have been annihilated by the Angels or the Phoenix race. Now that he was in the Starry Sky universe, there were no rules. The strongest ruled. With the suppression of the Starry Sky universe, 8th Order sovereigns and above would not dare to step into the Starry Sky universe. With Wang Xian's current strength, what was there to be afraid of? He had suffered for so long in the Nine Origins universe. Now that his strength had broken through, he couldn't care less about the pinnacle races. As long as someone dared to provoke him, he would kill them. At most, he could use the Void Pagoda to bring the Dragon Palace to the Starry Sky universe. With the Void Pagoda and Enli's ability, he could bring the Dragon Palace to another place. Die. Wang Xian came to the side of another Fire Phoenix in an instant. His eyes were filled with coldness and disdain. The threat of death descended upon them. No, no, no. Senior, save me. The Fire Phoenix trembled violently when he sensed Wang Xian's terrifying speed. His face was filled with horror as he cried for help. Ha! The moment his voice fell, a group of Fire Phoenixes on the fiery planet occupied by the Fire Phoenixes looked over immediately. They were neither near nor far from here. When the first Fire Phoenix was killed, they didn't see it. Now that they heard the terrified cry for help, the Fire Phoenixes soared into the sky. They flapped their phoenix wings and flew over immediately. Chirp, chirp, chirp. The cries of the phoenix rang out. Who dares to attack the phoenix race? A Fire Phoenix emitting an incomparably powerful aura roared with a cold expression. Fart. However, just as he finished his sentence, Wang Xian's dragon claws landed on the body of the Fire Phoenix, killing it completely. He looked over and saw more than 20 Fire Phoenixes flying towards him immediately. The Fire Phoenixes were emitting towering flames. You're courting death. No matter which pinnacle race you are from, you must pay the price for killing a disciple of the Phoenix race. When they saw the Fire Phoenix being killed, the group of Fire Phoenixes was filled with rage. Terrifying murderous aura swept over. Not only was the terrifying flame not hot at all, but it made people feel cold all over. Hiss! This Dragon King killed another Fire Phoenix in an instant. His strength is too strong. Not good. The rest of the Fire Phoenix experts are coming. Oh no, the Dragon King is in trouble. In the surrounding area, the group of experts and disciples watched with a slight change in their expressions when they saw Wang Xian killing another Fiery Phoenix in an instant and a group of Fiery Phoenixes charging over. They were shocked by the Dragon King's strength. Similarly, they did not want the Dragon King to be besieged and killed. This Dragon King is really strong. His rise is simply too fast. Killing a third-order sovereign realm phoenix in an instant. Is this strength of a fifth-order sovereign? This Dragon King must have had a great opportunity. More than 100,000 years ago, his battle strength was only comparable to a second-order sovereign realm expert, right? Why is it so terrifying now? This Dragon King must have obtained a powerful inheritance from the Divine Dragon clan. Otherwise, he wouldn't have improved so quickly. However, he might be in trouble this time. A group of Fire Phoenixes is charging over. It's going to be difficult for him to escape. On a fiery planet not far away, dozens of Divine Tiger clan powerhouses looked over in their direction with astonished looks on their faces. They did not expect the Dragon King to be able to explode with such terrifying strength. Ha! Wang Xian saw more than 20 Fire Phoenixes flying over, and his eyes flashed with a cold light. 1 6th Order Sovereign Realm Fire Phoenix, and the rest are below 6th Order Sovereign Realm. With a wave of his arm, he kept the Fire Phoenix's corpse, and his eyes flickered. Although the Fireheart treasure ground was a huge treasure ground, there weren't many strong powerhouses cultivating there because they couldn't enter the core area. After all, it was extremely difficult to break through to the 7th Order Sovereign Realm on a planet near the Fireheart treasure land. Even if they could break through, it might take hundreds of millions of years, or even longer. It was better to go to the Starry Sky universe to find other opportunities. It was already a special situation to have a 6th Order Sovereign Realm expert here. Boom, boom, boom. More than 20 Fire Phoenixes flew over and surrounded him in an instant. Each of them stared at him with murderous intent. Seeing their comrade's corpse being kept, the fire phoenix's eyes were filled with rage. He, after killing the young ones, the old ones are here? Wang Xian stared at them without the slightest fear. His eyes swept across them, and his face was full of mockery. Divine Dragon's might, Dragon King of the Dragon Palace? Your Dragon Palace is really courting death. How dare you kill an expert of our Phoenix clan? I can now announce that the doomsday of your Dragon Palace is here. In the center. The Sixth Order Universe Sovereign Realm Fire Phoenix said with a cold expression. Killing a Sovereign Realm expert of the Phoenix clan had touched the bottom line of a peak race. The Dragon Palace must be destroyed. Otherwise, where would the dignity of the Phoenix clan be? The experts of your Phoenix clan want to kill me. Am I supposed to stand here and let them kill me? Can't I fight back? Upon hearing their words, Wang Xian's eyes also emitted murderous intent as he spoke in a similarly eerie tone. You deserve to die, Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. After killing you, our Phoenix clan will issue a kill order to annihilate your Dragon Palace. You don't know what's good for you. How dare you provoke our Phoenix clan just because you obtained some inheritance? Do you think your Dragon Palace is the peak of the Dragon clan? The Sixth Order Sovereign Realm Fire Phoenix in the center roared coldly. He flapped his wings, and a dazzling fiery feather pierced towards Wang Xian. Die. You're courting death. He let out a low roar. Killing an expert of the Phoenix clan is an unforgivable crime. Just wait for the entire Dragon Palace to be buried with you. Damn it. Soon, the bloodline of the Divine Dragon will disappear completely. The group of fire phoenixes around him also commented coldly. It's over. The Phoenix clan is too domineering. They want to annihilate the Dragon King and the Dragon Palace. The Dragon Palace is in deep trouble now. The Dragon King shouldn't have provoked the Phoenix clan. But wasn't the Divine Dragon clan on good terms with the Phoenix clan in the past? Why is the Phoenix clan treating the Divine Dragon bloodline this way? When the experts and disciples saw the Dragon King being surrounded, their expressions changed. Over 20 fire phoenixes charged over, and one of them had a terrifying aura. How could the Dragon King resist? Chapter 3745. The commotion around the Fire Heart treasure ground had attracted the attention of all the experts and disciples. Their gazes were fixated on Lin Fan, staring at the attack that was heading towards the Dragon Palace. Is the Dragon King going to die? How can we block such a terrifying attack? I don't care what race you are or what your background is. If you want to kill me, I'll kill you. If you want to destroy my Dragon Palace, I'll destroy you. Wang Xian swept his gaze across them and looked at the flaming wings that were attacking him. He stretched out his palm and immediately turned it into a dragon claw. In the next moment, a deafening roar resounded. Wang Xian had transformed into a divine dragon. The huge divine dragon body was covered by a leaf. To the outside world, he looked like a green dragon. However, there was a pair of strange wings on his back. The energy on the wings was a little violent. Boom! Wang Xian's dragon claw landed on the flaming feathers and a wave of energy extinguished the flames. What? When the fire phoenix saw that Wang Xian had blocked her attack, she was stunned for a moment. Her face was filled with astonishment. This attack was at the level of a Sixth Order Universe Sovereign, yet, it was blocked by the Dragon King of Dragon Palace. What did this mean? It meant that the Dragon King of Dragon Palace also had the strength of a Sixth Order Sovereign. You're the ones who will die. Wang Xian stared at them, his eyes filled with violence. Soaring Cloud Dragon, 8-directional dragon pillar. Wang Xian roared and instantly displayed the law of Dharma. The surroundings were instantly shrouded by clouds. The unbeginning saint wings flapped violently and Wang Xian's figure disappeared in an instant. Be careful, the Dragon King's strength is at the Sixth Order Universe Sovereign Realm. When the Sixth Order Sovereign Realm Fire Phoenix saw this, his eyes narrowed, and he let out a loud roar. Bam! Ah! However, in just an instant, a series of screams were heard. Wang Xian's speed was comparable to a Seventh Order Sovereign. Among the group of phoenixes, only one was at the Sixth Order Sovereign Realm. The rest were below the Sixth Order Sovereign Realm. Moreover, There were a few first or second order sovereigns. They surrounded Wang Xian, but faced with Wang Xian's counterattack, they could not react in time. The dragon tail swept across, and the fire phoenixes were instantly killed. Damn it, open the domain space. The sixth order sovereign realm fire phoenix roared anxiously. Fire phoenix world. He continued to roar, and streams of flames instantly rose to the surroundings. The terrifying flames seemed to envelop the entire space. Fire phoenix world. Fire phoenix world. When the rest of the fire phoenixes heard this, they immediately roared loudly. Their voices trembled slightly. None of them had expected the Dragon King to possess the strength of a sixth-order sovereign. Moreover, he was able to kill 4 to 5 of their fire phoenixes in an instant. One by one, the fire phoenixes unleashed their strongest attacks. Domain was the mark of a ruler rank expert. Once he activated his domain, his strength would increase exponentially. Within the domain, you are the master. The only thing that could deal with a domain was a domain. Hehe, with just you guys. All of you will die today. Wang Xian swept his gaze across them with disdain and his body trembled slightly. 9 Origins Dragon Domain Buzz. In an instant, the entire battlefield underwent a tremendous change. The energy began to distort, and flames shot out in all directions. This place seemed to have become a separate world. In the surrounding area, a group of experts and disciples flew back in shock. The Dragon King is so strong. He can actually withstand the attack of a sixth-order sovereign fire phoenix. Is this the strength of the Dragon King? Hiss, the Dragon King's strength is no weaker than a sixth-order sovereign. Oh gosh, a few more fire phoenixes have been killed by the Dragon King. The group of experts and disciples who were sent flying backwards roared in shock. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, although the Dragon King was known as Invincible, he was only below the sovereign realm. At the very most, he could kill a first-order sovereign realm expert. But now, in just hundreds of thousands of years, he possessed the strength of a sixth-order sovereign? Isn't this too sick? How could an expert break through so quickly? Hiss. The sudden battle made the celestial tigers on the blazing star suck in a breath of cold air when they sensed Wang Xian's strength. The surrounding experts from the Peak clans also trembled, their faces filled with disbelief. Could the Dragon King have obtained the inheritance of the Water Divine Dragon when he was at his peak? This is the only explanation. The Dragon King must have obtained the inheritance of the Water Divine Dragon. Otherwise, he couldn't have broken through so quickly. The celestial tigers growled. This was the only explanation. To increase his strength to such a level in hundreds of thousands of years was simply terrifying. Even among the peak races, this was an unbelievable existence. There could only be one explanation. The Dragon King must have obtained the inheritance of the Water Divine Dragon. The Divine Dragon race had a supreme expert. The Divine Dragon race during its peak was one of the more powerful races. It was also one of the stronger ones. It was because the Divine Dragon race had a heavenly Yuan creation realm existence. Also because the Divine Dragon race had a heavenly Yuan creation realm existence, the Divine Dragon race was known as the King of the Marine race, the Overlord of the Sea. When the Dragon Might was released, all the marine races submitted. The Dragon King might have obtained the inheritance of that person. Chirp chirp chirp. Oh no, our senior Luan and the rest have encountered an expert. Go over immediately. Stop cultivating for now and head over immediately to provide assistance. At the same time, a large number of fire phoenixes were cultivating on the stars occupied by the fire phoenixes. There were sovereigns, but 80% of them were below the sovereign realm. Close to 200 fire phoenixes flapped their huge flaming wings and flew over when they saw the situation. Phoenix cries rang out. Who dares to provoke our fire phoenix race? Are you courting death? Which peak race's expert is it? Many of the fire phoenixes who had been cultivating in seclusion did not know what was happening in front of them. They roared with killing intent. Sixth order sovereign, I'll kill you first. At the same time, when the Fire Phoenix world and 9 Origins Dragon domain appeared, they felt as though they were in a special world. In this world, there was Wang Xian's domain and the Fire Phoenix world. When the two domains collided, a special burst of energy erupted. Wang Xian could feel that his domain was clashing with theirs. His gaze locked onto the sixth-order sovereign realm fire phoenix, and he pounced towards it. The unbeginning sacred wings erupted with all its strength. At the same time, 4 dark ghost avatars appeared beside him. He wanted to kill this sixth-order sovereign fire phoenix. Chapter 3746. Boom Boom Boom. Wang Xian's speed was much faster than the sixth-order sovereign fire phoenix. When Huang Xiaolong flew over, the sixth-order sovereign realm fire phoenix did not show any signs of panic on its face. He could tell that Wang Xian's speed was much faster than his. However, he could sense that Wang Xian's attack power was still at the sixth-order sovereign realm. As long as he used area of effect attacks to defend and counterattack, he would be able to defeat a sixth-order sovereign. As for the fire phoenixes, they specialized in area of effect attack. Chirp chirp. Dragon King, today is the day you die. He roared with a cold expression. His phoenix wings flapped violently as he locked onto Wang Xian's blurry figure and charged over. Boom boom boom. Streaks of flames turned into phoenix spirits that attacked in a wide range. The fire phoenixes in the surroundings also unleashed their strongest attacks at the sixth-order sovereign realm fire phoenix's attack. Wang Xian chuckled and let out a roar. He charged towards the fire phoenix. On his left and right, the 4 dark ghost doppelgangers exuded the power of darkness. 4 streaks of darkness energy completely blocked the attacks of the sixth-order sovereign realm fire phoenix, as well as the rest of the attacks. It was like a spear of darkness piercing through the blazing flames. The sixth-order sovereign realm fire phoenix stared blankly at Huang Xiaolong, and a look of astonishment appeared on her face. What's going on? What's that darkness? As the surroundings were shrouded by Wang Xian's soaring clouds, the fire phoenixes could not see what was happening in the distance. However, when they clearly saw a gust of darkness forcefully withstanding their attacks and charging straight at them, their pupils constricted and their faces were filled with shock. What's that? Dark ghost doppelganger? The sixth-order sovereign fire phoenix looked at Wang Xian and the dark ghost doppelganger charging towards them with a horrified expression. Dark ghost doppelganger? That was the dark ghost doppelganger exclusive to the Dark Tribe. How did it appear? Why did it have the aura of the Dragon King? Wasn't he would attribute? Boom boom. At this moment, Wang Xian flapped his unbeginning saint wings and increased his speed as he charged forward. The invincible attack had a feeling of crushing everything in its path. The surrounding flames quickly retreated. Their domains were torn apart by Wang Xian. Oh no, not good. This Dragon King actually has a dark ghost clone. How is this possible? Hiss. When the fire phoenix, who was a sixth-order sovereign, saw Wang Xian and dark ghost's doppelganger charging towards them, a look of shock appeared on her face. Every nether ghost clone had the strength of a sixth-order universe sovereign. This was equivalent to them fighting against 5 sixth-order sovereigns. Even if the fire phoenix was burning her life to unleash a powerful attack, it would only be able to deal with 2 or 3 dark ghost clones. However, burning one's life force would reduce one's lifespan and might even cause one's strength to decline in the future. The price was extremely high. However, even if they had to pay a huge price, the sixth-order sovereign realm fire phoenix had no confidence in resisting Huang Xiaolong's attack. In particular, the Dragon King of Dragon Palace possessed terrifying speed. In the face of such speed, he could only continuously release area of effect attacks. If he didn't use an area of effect attack, he would expose his weakness and be ambushed. But at this time, what should he do? His eyes revealed a trace of fear. Wang Xian and the nether ghost clones roared at the same time and rushed over. Phoenix Nirvana, blaze. Chirp, chirp, chirp. The sixth-order sovereign realm fire phoenix's heart trembled violently as he roared and burned his life force. Boom boom boom. Phantoms of flaming phoenixes rushed out from his body and attacked the surroundings. The indiscriminate attacks caused the surrounding fire phoenixes to turn pale. Run. This kind of battle isn't something we can participate in, one of the fire phoenixes roared in fear. The terrifying shockwaves from the battle between 6 sixth-order sovereigns could instantly kill first-order, second-order, and even third-order sovereigns. The group of fire phoenixes did not dare to get close. Die. Wang Xian saw the sixth-order sovereign realm fire phoenix burning his life force and erupting with terrifying strength. However, his so-called eruption was completely suppressed by the Nether Ghost clones even if Wang Xian did not make a move. The 4 Nether Ghost clones continued charging forward. Wang Xian flapped his unbeginning saint wings and appeared behind the sixth-order sovereign realm fire phoenix in an instant. Damn it, I'm in big trouble. Sensing Wang Xian's appearance behind him, his body trembled violently. Chirp chirp. He quickly turned his body, and one of the feathers on his phoenix wings attacked Wang Xian in a frenzy. He was already burning a large amount of his life force. In this state, he couldn't even last 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, he would die. However, Wang Xian would not give him 5 minutes. When he saw the flaming feathers shooting towards him, his figure turned illusory. Nether Ghost transformation. In the next instant, his figure appeared on another Nether Ghost clone, Koala. He flapped his unbeginning saint wings and charged forward. His dragon claws directly grabbed onto the other phoenix wing. Rip! A violent sound rang out. Ah! A miserable scream rang out. Boom boom boom! In that instant, the 3 Nether Ghost clones charged forward, and the terrifying power of darkness penetrated his body. The sixth-order sovereign realm fire phoenix's life force rapidly disappeared as the darkness penetrated his body. Next, it's your turn. Wang Xian ignored the fire phoenix. His gaze swept across the surroundings, and he instantly made his move. A sixth-order sovereign realm fire phoenix burned its life force and barely managed to hold on for a few seconds. What about the other fire phoenixes? What could they do? There was no way they could hold on. In a flash, Wang Xian appeared beside a fifth-order sovereign realm fire phoenix. With a swipe of his dragon claws, he killed it instantly. Following that, his dragon tail swept across the body of a fourth-order sovereign realm fire phoenix. The terrifying dragon tail caused a large amount of blood to spurt out of the fire phoenix's body, and it collapsed instantly. Absolute speed, a huge gap. Right now, they had no strength to resist at all. No, no, no. Dragon King, if you kill us, our phoenix race will never let you off. A roar filled with unwillingness and anger rang out. What happened? Damn it. Activate the Fire Phoenix World Domain. Kill. At this time, the fire phoenixes on the blazing stars not far away had already charged over. They immediately unleashed all the power of flames they could and charged towards the area covered by the domain. Chapter 3747. The 180 fire phoenixes above the sovereign realm heard the screams as they flew over. This caused all of them to tremble violently. They immediately released their domain worlds and prepared to join the battle. Boom! However, the moment they released their domain worlds, a shockwave came from the center of the battlefield. In an instant, they felt the fiery domain worlds in the center of the battlefield disappear rapidly. The power of fire inside was also collapsing at a terrifying speed. Bang, bang, bang. Chirp, chirp, chirp. A series of terrifying collisions and the sorrowful cries of the fire phoenixes rang out. Everyone could feel the flames inside the domain worlds extinguishing rapidly. The life force of the fire phoenixes was also extinguished. Support the seniors and the rest. The 180 fire phoenixes in the sovereign realm saw this, and their hearts jumped violently as they roared. Run, run quickly. But at this moment, a shrill scream came from inside the domain worlds. Run, run quickly. This was said to all the fire phoenixes in the periphery. Yes, run quickly. On the battlefield, the fire phoenixes within the domain worlds were being hunted down rapidly. They were powerless to resist, and they did not have the strength to resist. They could not even escape. Sensing that their companions were coming to support them, they could only let out a final roar. Bang! However, as soon as he finished speaking, the next moment, even the sounds of battle had completely disappeared. The glow of the flames slowly disappeared. What the hell is going on? That's the screams of the fire phoenixes. It's the screams of the fire phoenixes. It can't be? It can't be, right? Hiss, the fire phoenixes are being hunted down again. Their life force has completely disappeared. At this moment, shocked voices rang out from the surroundings, and all the experts and disciples stared at the center of the battlefield in shock. This is the strength of the Dragon Palace's Dragon King? That 6th Order Sovereign Realm Fire Phoenix was killed. The Dragon King's speed is terrifying. He is already one of the experts in the Sovereign Realm, and in the Starry Sky Cosmos, the only ones who can defeat him are the 7th Order Sovereigns of the various peak races. So strong. That 6th Order Sovereign Realm Fire Phoenix was killed in such a short amount of time. The Phoenix race has met their match this time. Around them, the experts from the peak races also widened their eyes in shock. The rate of growth of the Dragon Palace's Dragon King was too heaven-defying. This strength was completely beyond their expectations. The fact that Huang Xiaolong had the strength of a 6th Order Sovereign was inconceivable to them. In the end, the 6th Order Sovereign Realm Fire Phoenix was killed by him in a short amount of time. What? Senior, they've been killed. The enemy is very strong. Run. At this moment, the most frightened and shocked ones were the Phoenix clan's powerhouses. They could clearly sense that their seniors, the experts of their Fire Phoenix sect, were all gone. Obviously, he had been killed. To be able to kill a 6th Order Sovereign Realm senior, the other party wasn't someone they could resist. Run. They immediately made the correct choice. Boom, boom, boom. One by one, the Fire Phoenixes turned around and fled into the distance without any hesitation. Crash. Escape. Can you escape? You failed to kill me, and now you want to leave so easily? Is that even possible? Just at this moment, the 180 Fire Phoenixes saw a terrifying figure suddenly appear behind them. That terrifying speed was so fast that some of the weaker ones couldn't react in time. They looked at the huge body of the divine dragon and the majestic dragon head. Their faces were exceptionally ugly. They knew that once the Dragon King wanted to kill them, they wouldn't be able to escape. Dragon King, are you really going to be enemies with the Phoenix clan? Is the Dragon Palace really going to be enemies with us? One of the Fire Phoenix's expression changed drastically as he spoke. Hihi, foolish thing. Still spouting such nonsense at this time. Die. Wang Xian's eyes were filled with disdain when he heard him. Everyone knew clearly who was going to be enemies with whom. If the Phoenix clan hadn't wanted to kill him in the Invincible domain, would he have interfered in this matter? At the end of the day, the Phoenix clan didn't take him seriously at all. They saw him as an ant that could be easily killed. However, this ant possessed a strength that shocked them. Boom. God's tail playing with pearl. Wang Xian flew over and swept his dragon tail across. God's tail playing with pearl was a huge shadow of a dragon tail with a dazzling dragon pearl on it. The dragon pearl contained a terrifying aura. With a sweep of the dragon tail, the entire dragon pearl was like a horrifying meteorite. Block it. Bam, bam, bam. Fearful roars rang out, followed by the sounds of collision. They couldn't block it. In an instant, dozens of Fire Phoenixes were killed in a single move. The terrifying impact caused them to lose their breath. Swoosh. Wang Xian flapped his wings and continued to fly over. The dragon claw slashed towards a 5th Order Universe Sovereign Realm Fire Phoenix. Life Dragon Breath. The dragon claw grabbed and the Life Dragon Breath from the Dharma laws surged towards his body. The Life Dragon Breath swept across and killed him instantly. He couldn't even fight back. Is this the strength of the Dragon King? The surrounding cultivators trembled, their eyes filled with awe and veneration. This was the strength of the Dragon King. One by one, the Fire Phoenixes at the Sovereign Realm were slaughtered without a chance to fight back. Since the last cataclysm, who else could kill experts from the pinnacle races? In fact, since the last cataclysm, none of the high-level races had heard of anyone killing experts at the Sovereign Realm from the pinnacle races. Even among the pinnacle races, the experts at the Sovereign Realm rarely clashed, not to mention a life-and-death battle. Today, however, they saw over 100, and perhaps even 200, sovereigns perish in the end. While they were shocked, they also felt deep respect and admiration for the Dragon King. The Phoenix race is really used to being arrogant. They think they can kill whoever they want. This time, the Dragon King has taught them a huge lesson. At this point in time, they still want to be enemies with the Phoenix race. It's the Phoenix race that wants to destroy the Dragon King. Now that they are weaker than the Dragon King, how can they say such words? How despicable. Some of the surrounding experts couldn't help but comment. The scene before them, the battle ahead, made them extremely excited. What happened today was because the Phoenix race was too arrogant. They didn't even care about the existences below the pinnacle races. They naturally hoped that an existence that treated them like ants would be killed. Chapter 37:48. Run, run. At this moment, Wang Xian had killed nearly half of the 170 fire phoenixes on the battlefield. The rest of the fire phoenixes shrieked in despair and horror. They were unstoppable and unstoppable. Run, run, run. Swoosh. They flapped their fire phoenixes' wings and fled in all directions. Every single one of them could escape now. They're too slow. Seeing the group of fire phoenixes trying to escape, Wang Xian's face was filled with contempt. They were too slow. Was it possible for them to escape? Swoosh. Roar, roar, roar. Wang Xian moved and chased after them at a terrifying speed. Bam, bam, bam. Ah! Save me. Dragon King, the Phoenix clan will never let you off. Screams were heard continuously as the fire phoenixes were killed one by one. These were the fire phoenixes of the sovereign realm. These were the experts of the pinnacle races. One by one, they fell rapidly. Run, all fire phoenixes, run now. Fart. At the last moment, a fire phoenix shouted at the disciples on the flame planet. Those disciples were the phoenixes who had yet to reach the sovereign realm. As they listened to the screams and watched the experts of their clans being slaughtered, their bodies trembled violently. Run. Run now. They hurriedly stepped into the teleportation formation and left immediately. All the experts and disciples in the surroundings were deeply shocked as they witnessed Wang Xian's massacre. This was the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. Close to 200 fire phoenixes were killed by him easily. Extremely terrifying. Wang Xian could sense the fire phoenixes on the flame planet far away fleeing at high speed, but he ignored them. The fire phoenixes below the sovereign realm were no match for these fire phoenixes of the sovereign realm. Moreover, the Fire Phoenix clan was prepared to escape immediately in case the star beast in the center of the fire heart went berserk. Therefore, even if Wang Xian flew over immediately, the fire phoenixes could still escape. However, even if they could escape, none of the sovereigns would be able to. One by one, the fire phoenixes were killed by him easily, until the last one. A total of 201 corpses. 201 experts of the sovereign realm. All of them were kept. Phew, this time, the Phoenix clan has been thoroughly offended. After killing all of them, Wang Xian's eyes flickered. Killing the 201 fire phoenixes gave him a bit of pressure. The pressure came from the entire Phoenix clan. If the Dragon Palace wants to rise quickly, war is the only way. Moreover, the Phoenix clan and the Angel clan are enemies. Wang Xian clenched his fists with determination in his eyes. He scanned his surroundings and flew straight towards a fiery star. The Dragon King is awesome. All hail the Dragon King. Good kill. At this moment, voices suddenly came from all around them. Then, the voices grew louder and louder. They shouted loudly, their faces filled with excitement. Upon hearing this, Wang Xian smiled faintly. I want to use this teleportation formation. Wang Xian came to a teleportation device and said, Please, Dragon King. You can use it directly. The expert in charge of the teleportation formation said respectfully. Wang Xian nodded his head, stepped into it and disappeared immediately. When he reappeared, he found that he had already teleported far away. He flew quickly in the direction of the Storm mainland. After more than 100,000 years, the Storm mainland should have stored a lot of metallic meteorites. It should be enough to upgrade the Tai Chi Dragon Board and the 5 Elements Grind. Now, the Tai Chi Dragon Board and the 5 Elements Grind were only comparable to the strength of a 4th Order Sovereign. They were still 2 levels away from his current strength. I wonder how many metallic meteorites there are. Wang Xian murmured as he flew quickly in the void. With his current strength of a 6th Order Sovereign and the speed of a 7th Order Sovereign, flying in the void was already very terrifying. However, after Wang Xian left, the Fireheart Treasured Land was in an uproar. A group of experts and disciples were arguing incessantly. Soon, A piece of news was sent to every powerhouse on the communication stone plate. This included the experts from the pinnacle races. There were many contents of the message, but there were a few that were more explosive. After more than 100,000 years, Heavenly Fire Ancestor broke through again and reached the second-order universe sovereign realm. However, experts from the Phoenix race coveted his opportunities and treasures and killed him. 2 fire phoenixes killed Heavenly Flame Patriarch and stole his treasure. Then, they saw the Dragon King and were killed by the Dragon King. Nearly 200 fire phoenixes attacked the Dragon King when they saw their clan's experts being killed. However, they never expected the Dragon Palace's Dragon King to be so invincible that he could kill more than 200 fire phoenixes at the ruler level. The Phoenix race is despicable. They killed Heavenly Fire Ancestor to steal his opportunities and then tried to kill the Dragon King. However, they were all killed by the Dragon King. The Dragon Palace's Dragon King is suspected to have the terrifying strength of a sixth-order universe sovereign. Is this the pinnacle race, the Phoenix race? Heavenly Fire Ancestor broke through again. However, he aroused the greed of the Phoenix race and killed Heavenly Fire Ancestor. He deserved to be killed by the Dragon King. Support the Dragon King. In the future, all experts who obtain opportunities must know the true colors of the Phoenix race. News after news spread rapidly through the communication stone plate. Every disciple of the powerhouses who stepped into the starry sky cosmos had one, and they could see the contents inside. When the other experts and disciples saw the news, they were dumbfounded and shocked. Heavenly Fire Ancestor broke through again. Heavenly Fire Ancestor was killed by a fire phoenix. Fire phoenixes wanted to kill the Dragon King, but they were all killed by the Dragon King. 200 fire phoenixes were killed by the Dragon King. The news caused all the experts and disciples to be in an uproar. Even the experts of the pinnacle races were dumbfounded when they saw the news. Is this real or fake? How can the Dragon Palace's Dragon King be so terrifying? Fuck. Heavenly Fire Ancestor broke through again. In such a short period of time, Heavenly Fire Ancestor broke through again. However, the experts of the Phoenix race are too despicable. They actually wanted to steal Heavenly Fire Ancestor's opportunities. How despicable. Let's not talk about the Dragon King's strength first. Why would the pinnacle races want to steal Heavenly Fire Ancestor's opportunities? Did you think it was easy for Heavenly Fire Ancestor to cultivate to this point? Could it be that experts of the pinnacle races will be hunted down by the pinnacle races when they break through? Will they be killed for their treasures? The opportunities of our 9 Origins mainland have always been occupied by the pinnacle races. Now that we've risked our lives to come to the starry sky cosmos and obtained the opportunities with great difficulty, we've become stepping stones for the pinnacle races. The news from the Fireheart Treasureland caused a huge commotion. This tremor was unprecedented in history. Chapter 3749. When Wang Xian left the Fireheart Treasureland, a large number of experts and disciples in the Fireheart Treasureland spread the news. It was especially so for the experts and disciples of the Skyfire sect. Their patriarch had been killed, and their race had suffered a devastating blow. They were filled with hatred for the Phoenix race. The experts and disciples of the other high-level clans also felt a sense of sympathy for the loss of their own kind. They had risked their lives to come to the starry sky universe in search of opportunities. They wanted to obtain treasures and great opportunities to break through. The Skyfire Patriarch was an existence that they yearned to be. He had relied on opportunities to lead his race from a high-level race to a peak race, and his strength had reached the sovereign realm. They also wanted to become an existence like the Skyfire Patriarch. However, it was precisely because of their desire to become such an existence that the fire phoenixes of the Phoenix race coveted them and killed them for their treasures. How could they not be angry? Therefore, they were trying their best to smear the Phoenix race on the communication stone plate. Of course, they were not smearing them. They were just exaggerating a little. For example, they exaggerated the greed of the fire phoenixes and killed them for their treasures. They said that the fire phoenixes wanted to kill the Dragon King after discovering him. They also said that the Dragon King did not know how he had provoked the Phoenix race. He was besieged by the Phoenix race in the Invincible domain, and now the Fire Phoenixes wanted to kill him. They said that the Dragon King had no choice but to kill the Fire Phoenixes. In short, they had made a lot of changes to the situation on Wang Xian's side. They had completely portrayed the Phoenix race as evil people. Anyway, they were not worried about being discovered because they had posted the information on the communication stone plate. When the news was released, it resonated with all the experts and disciples of the high-level races. In the nine-source universe, the number of experts and disciples of the peak races was less than 1 in 100 million. In the nine-source universe, there were more weaklings. When they saw the news, they all cursed the Phoenix race. The Phoenix race is too despicable. It was not easy for us high-level races to make a name for ourselves, and they want to kill us for our treasures? Despicable and shameless. How dare they try to snatch the opportunities of the Skyfire Patriarch? In the future, if you encounter a treasure that you can't solve by yourself, don't contact the Phoenix clan. They might kill you after obtaining the treasure. That's possible. One of our ancestors discovered a dozen or so vital planets. However, they were occupied by a giant star beast. Our ancestor contacted the Phoenix clan. However, we couldn't contact that ancestor anymore. Now, it seems that he was most likely killed by the Phoenix clan's expert. One by one, the disciples sent a message through the communication stone plate. Soon, a disciple began to talk about the Phoenix clan. No one could distinguish the authenticity of this piece of information, but at this moment, everyone agreed that the Phoenix clan should have killed the senior who had provided them with the information. Despicable and shameless, sinister and evil. They viewed the high-ranking races as ants. One label after another was placed on the Phoenix clan. In short, the Phoenix race had become the common enemy of all the high-level races. Even the powerhouses of the peak races were dumbfounded when they saw this. Big Brother Hu Wen, was the situation at the Fire Heart Treasureland as described on the communication stone plate? I was at the Fire Heart Treasureland, and I saw it with my own eyes. The heavenly fire ancestor had indeed broken through. 2 fire phoenixes killed him because of a groundless crime. The Dragon King appeared at the side, and he ridiculed the 2 fire phoenixes. Then, the 2 fire phoenixes attacked the Dragon King, but they didn't expect the Dragon King's strength to be so terrifying. He killed the 2 third-order Sovereign Realm fire phoenixes in an instant. When the other fire phoenixes saw their clansmen being killed, they wanted to kill the Dragon King. In the end, the Dragon King showed his terrifying strength and killed all of them. The Dragon King is indeed terrifying. He has the strength to kill 6th-order sovereigns. His cultivation speed is simply heaven-defying. On the communication stone plate platform of the Divine Tiger Clan, a Divine Tiger Clan member was inquiring about the news from the Fireheart Treasureland. This Dragon King is really abnormal. He ridiculed the Fire Phoenixes. Obviously, he predicted that they would kill him. He must have done it on purpose. The Dragon King and the Phoenix race have a grudge. The disciples of the Phoenix race had besieged him in the Invincible domain. The Dragon King must have done it on purpose. He knows that he can kill the Phoenix race with his strength. That's why he's not afraid. He might even want to take revenge on them. Doesn't that mean that the information on the communication stone plate is different? Even if it's different, we can't say it out loud. We can't say it in the name of our Divine Tiger Clan. The Phoenix race killed the Heavenly Fire ancestor and snatched the gemstone hammer. They have already incurred the wrath of the public. If we say it out loud, the experts and disciples of the other high-level races will think that we're protecting them. Although we don't need to care about those high-level races, the cultivation tribulation is coming. Right, although we don't need to care about those high-level races, every time the cultivation tribulation arrives, there will always be experts from the high-level races who rise up and obtain great opportunities. This matter is the Phoenix race's fault. They shouldn't have killed the Heavenly Fire ancestor, an expert of the Divine Tiger Clan said from the communication stone plate of the Divine Tiger Clan. Although the peak races didn't care about the high-level races, the high-level races would still play a big role when the cultivation tribulation arrived. There was another point. When the cultivation tribulation connected and the passages of the various universes opened, there would be treasures everywhere, and there would be killings everywhere. There would always be people who could rise up in the cultivation tribulation. Because the number of disciples and experts of the high-level races was countless times that of the peak races, there would always be people who were lucky enough to obtain great opportunities and rise up. Moreover, because of their numbers, the probability of rising up was not lower than that of the peak races. Therefore, when the cultivation tribulation arrived, the peak races wouldn't look down on the other races. Now that the Phoenix race had incurred the wrath of the public, they wouldn't say anything. They wouldn't get involved. The Divine Tiger clan knew the specific reason, but they wouldn't spread it. The other peak races were the same. At this time, the Phoenix race had incurred the wrath of the public. They had already crossed the bottom line of those below the peak races. However, at this moment, dozens of phoenixes were standing guard at the entrance of the passage between the Nine Origin universe and the Starry Sky universe. When they saw what had happened inside and learned about the incident at the Fire Heart Treasureland, their faces instantly turned gloomy. The message from the communication stone plate, in particular, made the eyes of the Phoenix tribe's powerhouses burn with anger. A large number of experts of the Phoenix race had been killed. The communication stone plate was full of bad news about the Phoenix clan. Chapter 3750, Boom. That damned Dragon King. He actually killed our Phoenix race's experts. His courting death. Outside the world passage, a fire phoenix's body was instantly engulfed in raging flames as it roared with a cold expression. According to the news from their disciples, the fire phoenixes at the Blazing Heart treasured ground, a total of 201 sovereign realm fire phoenixes were all killed by the Dragon King. This was the greatest loss to the Phoenix race since the last cataclysm. It was also the first time they had suffered such a loss. More than 200 universe ruler level experts. These were experts that the Phoenix race had spent a large amount of resources to nurture. They had actually lost over 200 of them in one go. The Phoenixes had ugly expressions on their faces. Who would have thought that the Dragon King was strong enough to kill a sixth-order universe sovereign? Not far away, the Green River Phoenix furrowed her brows when she heard the news. The Dragon King's strength had completely exceeded her expectations. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, he had plotted with the third prince of the Radiance Angel race to kill the Dragon King. At that time, even though the Dragon King was invincible in the Invincible domain, she did not take him seriously. Even if one had the strength of a second-order universe sovereign, or even a third-order universe sovereign, she would still be able to kill him easily. But now, the Dragon King actually had the strength to kill a sixth-order universe sovereign. That was terrifying. Especially the speed of his growth. Based on this speed, would he reach the 7th order, 8th order, or even 9th order sovereign soon? If that was the case, it would be terrifying. Too terrifying. She suddenly felt that the ant in her eyes had grown into a huge beast. Moreover, it was an extremely powerful beast, one that could cause the Phoenix race to suffer heavy losses. Elder, it's not just this matter. Those ignorant experts in the communication stone plate have slandered our Phoenix race. One of the Phoenixes spoke to the Fire Phoenix in the center with an ugly expression on his face. The public opinion in the communication stone plate was too powerful. Even the universe artificial intelligence had some information about it. It would not take long before the entire Nine Origins universe knew about this. This would greatly affect the reputation of the Phoenix race. We don't have to care about those ants. The most important thing now is to kill the Dragon King. The elder of the Phoenix clan in the center growled with a gloomy face. This matter was a great humiliation and loss to the Phoenix clan. The Dragon Palace's Dragon King had killed more than 200 of their ruler rank experts. They had to avenge this. Elder, that Dragon King already has the strength of a ruler. We should send people to the Dragon Palace right now and destroy it. A Phoenix said with a murderous look on his face. The Dragon King's strength had obviously reached the sovereign realm, which meant that the Dragon Palace had entered the ranks of the top clans. Then they could directly send experts to destroy the Dragon Palace. There was no need to care about the rules. I'll inform the other elders about this and let them head over personally to destroy the Dragon Palace. The elder in the center said with a murderous aura. The group of fire phoenixes nodded slightly. Elder, I've received news from my side. Some of the information in the communication stone plate was deliberately slandering us. It was the Dragon King of Dragon Palace who provoked the members of our Phoenix clan first. That's why the experts of our Phoenix clan attacked him. That Dragon King had planned this all along, a Fire Phoenix reported to the Elder. That Dragon King is purposely making an enemy out of our Phoenix clan? The Phoenix Elder's eyes turned cold as he said coldly, because of the Qingjiang Aqua Phoenix, our Phoenix clan has long become enemies with the Dragon King. This time, he must be taking revenge on us, the Fire Phoenix said as he looked to the side. The Qingjiang Aqua Phoenix frowned slightly. Elder, in the past, I sent some disciples to kill him in the Invincible domain. But I didn't expect an ant like him to grow to such an extent. The Qingjiang Aqua Phoenix replied immediately when she saw the Elder looking at her. No matter what, this Dragon King must die. If you want to kill that Dragon King, I'll teach you. Enter the Starry Sky universe and kill that Dragon King. The Phoenix Elder ordered the Qingjiang Aqua Phoenix. Yes, Elder. The Qingjiang Aqua Phoenix's face turned ugly as she nodded her head coldly. She was a 7th Order Sovereign Realm Water Phoenix. She could enter the Starry Sky universe. The Qingjiang Aqua Phoenix was more talented and had a strong background. Initially, she didn't want to enter the Starry Sky universe. After all, it was a dangerous place and she didn't lack resources. But now, she had no choice but to enter. Because this matter had a lot to do with her. Dragon King of Dragon Palace. A tinge of viciousness flashed in her eyes. She didn't expect an ant in the past to be so powerful. Now, she had to deal with it herself. Wang Xian didn't know what happened on the communication stone plate. While he was flying in the void of the Starry Sky universe, he had already given an order to Enlai and Prime Minister Turtle. Move the Dragon Palace. Rely on the Void Pagoda to move the Dragon Palace. First, move the Dragon Palace to a hidden place in the Nine-Source universe. Wang Xian was originally prepared to move the Dragon Palace to the Nine-Source universe. But after some hesitation, he gave up. The changes in the Starry Sky universe were even greater. The Nine-Source universe was so huge. With Enlai's Void Pagoda, it was easy to find a hidden place. Even the experts from the peak races would have a hard time finding it. After giving instructions to the Dragon Palace, he quickly flew in the direction of the Storm Continent. Because of the teleportation, coupled with his speed, it didn't take long for him to arrive at the location in front of the Storm Continent. He flew over quickly and came to the place where the meteorites were flying. His eyes swept across and a smile appeared on his face. Everything was stable. As he gazed in the direction of the Storm Continent, he saw an extremely terrifying star behemoth dashing towards a metallic meteor and swallowing it in one gulp. 4th Order Universe Sovereign Realm. He thought to himself as he swept his eyes across the giant space beasts. The strongest among the giant space beasts should be around the 6th or 7th Order Universe Sovereign Realm. After all, this wasn't the center of the Starry Sky universe. Even so, this group of giant space beasts wasn't something Wang Xian could handle. Currently, he could only kill 3rd Order Sovereign Realm giant space beasts. Even 4th Order Sovereign Realm giant space beasts would be hard-pressed to deal with. After all, his strength was suppressed by 3 levels. Chapter 3751, Dragon King. When Wang Xian flew over, he immediately alerted Wu Shuo, Lin Wenluo, and the rest. Wu Shuo flew over. Lin Wenluo stood beside his giant cosmic beast and greeted her respectfully. Wang Xian nodded. He looked at Wu Shuo and was surprised. You've broken through? Yes, Dragon King. My strength has already reached the peak of the 1st Order Sovereign Realm, and I just broke through not long ago. Wu Shuo said with a smile. Not bad, not bad. Wang Xian had a satisfied look on his face. How many metallic meteorites have we obtained over hundreds of thousands of years ago? Dragon King, they are all here. Wu Shuo waved her arm, and a spatial ring flew toward him. Wang Xian took it over and sensed it. His eyes lit up. Over the past hundreds of thousands of years, Wu Shuo and the others had obtained a large number of metallic meteorites. TSK, these meteorites can raise the 5 elements Great Grindstone to the 6th Order Universe Sovereign Realm, but it will be difficult to raise the Tai Chi dragon plate," he murmured. The 5 elements grindstone had already swallowed that piece of frost metal. Now, it only needed a bit more 5 elements metal to break through. As for the Tai Chi dragon plate, he needed a lot more. At most, he could reach the 5th order sovereign realm. Next, I'll upgrade the Tai Chi dragon plate and the 5 elements grindstone here. With my help, the rate of metal absorption will be reduced by 100 times. Wang Xian smiled. Now that his strength had reached the 6th order sovereign realm, he could help the grindstone absorb the energy from the metal. However, Wang Xian still had one more thing to do before this. He entered a giant star beast that Lin Wenluo had simulated. With a wave of his arm, he laid down another energy barrier. Inside the nest, he sensed the corpses of the phoenixes and took out their spatial treasures. Among the 201 sovereign realm fire phoenix corpses, 1 was a 6th order sovereign, 3 were 5th order sovereigns, and the rest were 1st order to 4th order sovereign. In addition, there was the corpse of Patriarch Heavenly Fire. When he saw the corpse of Patriarch Skyfire, he was slightly taken aback. There was no spatial treasure on the corpse. There were no fortuitous opportunities or treasures either. Isn't that a little strange? Could it be that ancestor Heavenly Fire was still alive and had survived through the help of a life-saving treasure? This is very possible. After all, he is known as the first person in the Starry Sky universe to obtain a great opportunity. Wang Xian guessed. However, Heavenly Fire Ancestor's corpse could bring 100 venerable realm disciples to the Dragon Palace. He continued to search for the spatial treasures of the other phoenixes. Because they couldn't sense their own divine kingdoms in the Starry Sky universe, their treasures had to be placed in spatial treasures. Soon, a large number of resources and treasures appeared in his line of sight. The Phoenix race is similar to the Divine Dragon race. They don't use weapons, and their bodies are their strongest weapons. Therefore, they only have 5 carnate cardinal treasures. This is the Divine Wutong Tree. What a strong flame power. This Divine Wutong Tree can absorb it, but the Dragon Palace has a branch of the Divine Wutong Tree. This is a very dense fire stone. It seems to be condensed from the energy in the center of the Fire Heart Treasure Land. Did they use a method to condense the flame energy into a substance? If I absorb this firestone, it should be comparable to 100 years of cultivation in the Fire Heart Treasure Land. That's the feather of a 5th order sovereign realm phoenix. It can be forged into a powerful treasure. What kind of divine stone is this? It actually contains such a terrifying amount of life energy. Absorbing it can increase one's life energy. This should be a powerful treasure. Wang Xian sized up the treasures of the 201 fire phoenixes, and his eyes glowed. Powerful phoenix feather, 20 fire energy stones, and a divine stone that could increase one's lifespan. This divine stone could greatly increase one's recovery ability even if it was placed on one's body. If it was absorbed, it could even increase one's lifespan. If it was absorbed, it could also increase one's lifespan. In short, it was a very powerful treasure. To the Phoenix race, it was an item that was hard to come by. Other than these special treasures, the rest were resources. These were the resources that the fire phoenixes obtained from the planets with life. If it was hundreds of thousands of years ago, these resources could easily allow Wang Xian to break through. But now, it was not enough. But it could also increase his dragon chi. After sorting out all the treasures, Wang Xian revealed a smile. Many of the treasures could greatly increase the strength of the Dragon Palace's fire-attributed disciples. In addition, other than these treasures, the biggest harvest was naturally the 201 corpses. A first-order sovereign corpse could increase the Dragon Palace's strength by 10 venerables. Second-order sovereign, 100. Third order, 1,000. Fourth order, 10,000. Fifth order, 100,000. Sixth order, 1,000,000. Yes, that was how terrifying it was. 6th order sovereigns had absorbed a lot of energy and consumed a lot of resources to reach this realm. To a 6th order sovereign realm expert, a peak venerable realm expert was nothing more than an ant. 1,000,000 venerables. They were not a match for 6th order sovereigns. A 6th order sovereign could increase the number of venerables in the Dragon Palace by 1,000,000. That was how terrifying it was. Among the top clans, there were many venerables as disciples. But the top clans did not care much about disciples of this level. Take the disciples of the top clans in the Invincible domain for example. Even if they died, the top clans would not care. Just like the last time when Wang Xian killed hundreds of phoenixes, the phoenix race acted as though nothing had happened. They did not care. As long as they provided resources, they could produce a large number of venerables. But they did not do so because resources were limited. Resources were limited. Rather than giving them to venerables, they might as well give them to sovereigns. If one did not enter the sovereign realm, he would only be cannon fodder in the cataclysm. Although the experts of the top clans did not care, Wang Xian was very concerned. The current Dragon Palace could not compare to the foundation of the top clans. Without him, any of the top clans could send a 4th or 5th order sovereign to destroy the Dragon Palace. Take the Skyfire sect for example. The Skyfire old ancestor had reached the 2nd order sovereign realm and brought the sect to the level of the top clans. But he was killed, and the Skyfire sect became a high-level clan again. This was the problem of the foundation. The foundation of the Dragon Palace was still very weak. With these resources, the foundation of the Dragon Palace could be improved by a lot. Of course, it was just a huge improvement. It was not enough to catch up with the top clans. There was still a huge gap between them. But Wang Xian still believed that the Dragon Palace could turn the tide. Chapter 3752. The foundation of the sovereign realm is weak, but the foundation of the pinnacle venerable realm is terrifying. Looking at the corpses in front of him, Wang Xian smiled. The Dragon Palace was now a peak race with only a dozen or so sovereign realm disciples. Although it was incomparable to the peak races, the Dragon Palace would gain more than 1 million pinnacle venerable realm disciples after this. If there were more than 1 million disciples at this level, then even if only 1 out of 10 disciples broke through to the sovereign realm, the Dragon Palace would be able to quickly accumulate 100,000 sovereign realm disciple. There are still a few billion years before the cataclysm. If we develop well in these few billion years, the Dragon Palace will reach a terrifying level. Wang Xian's eyes sparkled. He informed Enlai and ordered him to bring the corpses back. Then, he asked about Prime Minister Turtle's situation. The Dragon Palace was now hidden in a very secret place. With Enlai's void pagoda, there were no traces left. Even if the Phoenix race experts wanted to find the Dragon Palace, it would be difficult. Even if they found it, the Dragon Palace's current defense could withstand it. Unless the other party sent a creation realm expert. All in all, the Dragon Palace was safe. After Enlai left with the corpses and resources, he looked at the metal in front of him. With a wave of his hand, the 5 elements grindstone appeared beside him. Wang Xian began to help the grindstone absorb the metal meteorites. Time passed quickly. Over at the 9 Origins universe. In the dragon transformation pool of the Dragon Palace, the dragon species and divine dragons roared, and powerful auras surged in all directions. One by one, the members of the Dragon Palace advanced to the pinnacle venerable realm. They were only a step away from the sovereign realm. There were 8 million members in the Dragon Palace, but 1/8 of them were pinnacle venerable realm experts. If this was spread, the entire 9 Origins universe would be shocked. If the high-level races knew about this, they would be dumbfounded. All the experts from the high-level races added up did not even have 1 million pinnacle venerable realm experts. As the days went by, the Dragon Palace improved rapidly. As for Wang Xian, the 5 elements grindstone completed its breakthrough in a few years and reached the 5th order sovereign realm. Everything was within expectations. This was because the 5 elements grindstone was already very close to breaking through after absorbing the frost metal. It was normal for it to break through now. Other than that, Wang Xian estimated that it would be difficult to improve the remaining metals. The 5 elements grindstone had reached the 5th order sovereign realm, while the Tai Chi dragon plate had reached the 4th order sovereign realm. Time passed quickly as he continued to absorb the energy. Buzz buzz buzz. Dragon King, we've been discovered. An expert has entered. After thousands of years, Wang Xian suddenly received a message from Lin Wenluo while he was helping the 5 elements grindstone to absorb. Alarms sounded from all around him as well. Wang Xian was taken aback. He immediately flew out and scanned the surroundings with flickering eyes. In his line of sight, many mechas, small spaceships, and robots flew over, densely packed. What's the situation? He looked over at the robots and mechas as he asked Lin Wenluo. It's another scientist from our sci-fi world. It should be Crisf. Lin Wenluo stared at the robot mecha in front of him, his expression changing. Although this galactic beast of mine can fool the experts of other races, it can't fool the scientists of our sci-fi world. So what if they're here? Let them in. Wang Xian looked over and said plainly. Right now, he wasn't as strong as he was in the past. It wouldn't be easy to snatch this place from his hands. Yes, Dragon King. Lin Wenluo nodded. He had naturally seen some of the information in the communication stone plate. He was shocked and surprised at the current strength of the Dragon King. At the very least, it would be beneficial for him to work with such an expert. The only thing he had to worry about was the Phoenix clan. Whoosh. With Wang Xian's words, Lin Wenluo moved and flew forward. Crisf, it's you, right? Oh. I was still wondering who set this up. So it's you, Lin Wenluo. As Lin Wenluo flew forward, a mecha came up to him. The tall mecha shone brightly as the two of them faced each other from a distance. Crisf, this place has been occupied by me. Leave this place immediately. Lin Wenluo stared at the mecha in front of him and said coldly. Hehe, scientist Lin Wenluo, you're still as childish as before. Do you think this place belongs to you just because you've occupied it? I can even say that this place has been occupied by me. Crisf sneered as he looked around. Seems like you've been here for a long time. You must have gained a lot. Huh? Lin Wenluo stared at him with flickering eyes. Don't be surprised. This meteorite is mixed with powerful metals. I've known about it since hundreds of thousands of years ago. However, I went to the place where the meteorite fell to search. Now that I'm almost done, I'm here to check the source. I didn't expect the source to be occupied by you. Crisf said emotionlessly. Crisf, I advise you to leave this place. You're no match for me. Lin Wenluo stared at him and said with a sullen face. Why do we have to be opponents? Can't we do research together like we did in the past? Crisf said emotionlessly. I, Lin Wenluo, will never associate myself with the dogs of the pinnacle races, Lin Wenluo said coldly. Haha, Lin Wenluo, you're too noble. You know the flaws of our technological world. It's impossible for us to take that step by ourselves. You don't know the true horror of the pinnacle races. Now, I'll give you a chance. Join the Angel Clan with me. You won't regret it. Crisf laughed. Angel Clan? Lin Wenluo snorted coldly. If you're not willing to join, then leave this place immediately. I hereby announce that this is my territory. Crisf said with a smile as he stared at Lin Wenluo. You're the one who should get lost. Lin Wenluo said coldly. All right, I'll let you witness my strength today. Crisf sneered and waved his arm. One by one, metal battle angels appeared beside him. There were a total of 4 metal battle angels with 12 wings. Lin Wenluo snorted coldly and waved his arm as well. The green metal beast also appeared in front of him and stared coldly at Crisf. Seems like you've gotten your hands on a lot of powerful metals. Crisf looked over as his eyes flickered. At the back, Wang Xian was watching their fight. He raised his eyebrows slightly and watched quietly. Chapter 3753, Hehe, I'll show you the difference between us today. Lin Wenluo has fallen behind. Crespi stared at the giant galactic beast, sneered, and swung his arm. Swish. The 4 battle metal angels moved. They flapped their 12 mechanical wings and blasted energy at Lin Wenluo's metal behemoth. Star Battle Beast, attack! Lin Wenluo shouted. The metal horns on the Star Battle Beast's head began to accumulate the power of the storm. A wind sword attacked the 4 metal battle angels at a terrifying speed. Too weak. With our technology, we can't convert the energy of a sovereign. Close combat is the best choice. Crespi chuckled. The wings of the 4 metal battle angels formed a shield in front of them as they attacked the Star Battle Beast without slowing down. The Star Battle Beast roared and charged forward. Bam, bam, bam. In the next instant, violent sounds of metal colliding rang out. The 12 wings of the metal battle angels were their weapons. Every wing was sharp and contained terrifying attacking power. Every strike was accompanied by a loud sound. Lin Wanluo's Star Battle Beast might be huge, but it wasn't bloated. Sharp spikes would emerge from its body from time to time during the battle. It even had a powerful cutting gear. This was a battle between machines, a pure physical battle. This world of science and technology is really impressive. As long as they have enough materials, they can achieve a qualitative improvement, even though it's only physical attacks. Wang Xian was filled with curiosity as he watched the sudden eruption of the battle. He didn't make a move but watched curiously. The giant galactic beast that Lin Wenluo had created possessed the combat strength of a second-order sovereign. As it was made of metal, it didn't feel pain. Unless it was destroyed, it would be difficult to deal with. Of course, this kind of giant galactic beast was perfectly countered by the Nether race. The Nether race could ignore physical attacks. Even so, it was impressive that the world of science and technology could produce such powerful combat machines. As for the 4 metal battle angels, they were also comparable to second-order sovereigns. 4 against 1, Lin Wenluo's giant galactic beast was soon at a disadvantage. Lin Wenluo, you have exceeded my expectations. However, I'm no longer the me of the past. Chrysler looked at the battle in front of him and laughed. He waved his arm again, and this time, the same number of metal battle angels appeared. The metal battle angel in the center was still emitting a dense power of light. In his hand, he held a large angel sword. What? When Lin Wenluo saw it, his pupils constricted. He stared at the metal battle angel exuding the power of light in shock. That's not right. You didn't create a technology that can transform ruler-level energy. That metal battle angel is supported by a special treasure, Lin Wenluo said loudly. Don't worry. It won't be long before I can create a technological device that can convert ruler-level energy. Now, I'll give you one last choice. Join me, or I'll destroy this place and make it mine. When Lin Wenluo heard what he said, his expression was abnormally ugly. Bam bam bam. Roar. At the same time, the 14 metallic battle angels and 1/3 order sovereign realm experts' attacks landed on the sister battle beast. Huge cracks appeared on its body, and it was on the verge of collapsing. Lackey of the Angel clan, seeing this situation, Wang Xian moved and flew forward slowly. He let out a cold and sarcastic remark. Huh! Wang Xian's words suddenly appeared beside Lin Wenluo, which stunned Chrysler. He immediately locked his gaze on Wang Xian. You're unlucky. Whose lackey is it? Why does it have to be the Angel clan? Wang Xian looked at him and continued speaking plainly. Dragon Palace, Dragon King. Chrysler looked at Wang Xian and immediately analyzed Wang Xian from the database. His expression changed. I didn't expect Lin Wenluo to join the Dragon Palace. What a fool. What a fool. He immediately turned to Lin Wenluo and spoke with sarcasm and disdain. We're just working together. Lin Wenluo replied expressionlessly. You don't have to say that. All lackeys of the Angel clan have to die. Wang Xian said plainly. With a move, he flew towards the 14 metallic battle angels. Damn Dragon King. Seeing Wang Xian flying towards his metallic battle angel, Chrysler's expression changed drastically. He naturally knew Wang Xian's current strength and that he wasn't a match for him. Come back now. He shouted at his metallic battle angel with bloodshot eyes. He had released all the metallic battle angels to show off to Lin Wenluo. To his surprise, Lin Wenluo, who had always wanted to protect the glory of the technological world, had actually joined the Dragon King's side. This caused him to be extremely embarrassed. Bam bam. 14 metallic battle angels. To Wang Xian, their speed was still too slow. This was simply giving him resources. He flew to the front of the metallic battle angels and stretched out his dragon claws to grab them. Each metallic battle angel was only a few hundred meters in size. Under the dragon claws, all of them were caught. They couldn't put up any resistance at all. Damn Dragon King. Seeing this scene, Crisper's eyes turned bloodshot as he roared madly. His accumulation from hundreds of thousands of years ago and a treasure gifted to him by the Angel clan were gone just like that. TSK. Courting death. Upon hearing his roar, Wang Xian snorted coldly and flew over. His terrifying speed left Crisfu no time to react. Ka. Wang Xian grabbed Crisfu's mecha with his dragon claws and crushed it. The surrounding mechas floated motionlessly without any command. Seeing this, Lin Wenluo heaved a sigh of relief. However, he still had a worried look on his face. Dragon King, I'm afraid we've been exposed. You've been exposed too, he said to Wang Xian with a solemn look. In the technological world, there was a rather powerful and even heaven-defying feature, and that was cloning. Every powerful scientist in the world of science and technology had at least one cloned body, or even dozens, or even hundreds of clones. They could share information with each other. To a certain extent, they were even harder to eliminate than the sovereigns from the pinnacle races. Even 7th or 8th level sovereigns wouldn't have a 50% chance of killing them. This was the power of technology in the technological world. Crisfu wasn't dead, and the Storm mainland would definitely be exposed. Chapter 3754, The exposure of the Storm continent was definitely not good news for Wang Xian. Moreover, with news of him being exposed, Wang Xian could foresee that the experts from the Phoenix and Angel race would definitely attack him. This made him frown slightly. The 5 elements grindstone and Tai Chi dragon board still required a lot of resources to break through. If he continued to stay here for a few million years, it shouldn't be a problem for the 5 elements grindstone and Tai Chi dragon board to break through to the 6th order sovereign realm. But now that he was exposed, he might be in trouble. My strength isn't strong enough to ignore the experts from the Phoenix and Angel race. He pondered. Even though only the strongest 7th order sovereign realm experts were allowed to enter the starry cosmos, Wang Xian was still no match for 7th order sovereigns. Wang Xian would also be in trouble if he was surrounded. Especially if the other party had some strange and powerful treasure that he didn't know about. Even if he had a trump card to escape, he wouldn't be able to guarantee his life. The most important thing now was to raise his strength to the 7th order sovereign realm, or to upgrade the Tai Chi dragon board and 5 elements grindstone. If the Tai Chi dragon board and 5 elements grindstone were upgraded to the 6th order sovereign realm, he would definitely be able to fight against 7th order sovereigns. Compared to the former, the latter might be faster. Get ready to leave. Our cooperation can end now, Wang Xian said to Lin Wenluo after some thought. Now that this place was exposed, there was no need to continue the cooperation. It would be extremely difficult for Wang Xian to occupy this place again. All right. Lin Wenluo nodded his head with a face full of regret. He didn't have the background of a top-notch race. It was impossible for him to continue staying here. He didn't say much as he started to keep the mechas and spaceships around him. Wang Xian swept his gaze across. With a wave of his arm, he checked the storage space of Chris Vespa. When he saw the items inside, he was slightly taken aback and a shocked expression appeared on his face. There was a large number of metallic meteorites in Lin Wenluo's storage space. The number of metallic meteorites was dozens of times more than Wang Xian's harvest over the past hundreds of thousands of years. The densely packed metallic meteorites exuded a thick and sharp aura, which made his eyes burn with passion. What's going on? How did he get so many meteors? Wang Xian's eyes shone with excitement. At this time, he suddenly remembered what Crisper had said. He had rushed over from the end of the meteorites. The end of a group of meteorites. He went there and searched for a large number of metal meteorites at the end. Before they arrived, there was a large amount of metallic meteorites that no one had picked up. Just in time, Christo found him. To anyone, even to a peak race, this was a great opportunity. Someone really brought me a pillow when I was sleepy. Wang Xian couldn't help but laugh. With so many meteors, the 5 elements grindstone and the Tai Chi dragon plate would be able to break through to the 6th order sovereign realm. There might even be a lot of the 5 elements left. He smiled and looked at Lin Wenluo. Lin Wenluo, what are your plans now? Plan? Lin Wenluo pondered upon hearing Wang Xian's words. Dragon King, I don't have any plans for now. Perhaps I'll find a place to continue my research. Although your idea is good, and you want to preserve the last spark of the technological world, there's a huge gap between having the backing of a peak race and you working alone. You should have seen it for yourself. In a few million years, you might be lagging behind other scientists. Wang Xian looked at him and said plainly, "Huh? What do you mean, Dragon King?" Lin Wenluo looked at him when he heard him. "Join my Dragon Palace in the name of the technological world. I can provide you with what you need," Wang Xian said. With a wave of his arm, a large number of metallic meteorites appeared around him. Lin Wenluo was taken aback when he saw these metallic meteorites. These metallic meteorites were much more than what he had collected over the past hundreds of thousands of years. Moreover, he could tell that these metals weren't collected by him over the past hundreds of thousands of years. His expression changed. He was a little tempted, but he was also struggling. Given his strength, it was too easy for him to find the backing of a peak race. As long as he gave the word, the 12 peak races would extend an olive branch to him. However, the reason why he didn't want to join the peak races was because he wanted to protect the technological world created by his ancestors. Think about it. I can let you keep your identity as a member of the technological world. You can say that you're a subsidiary of the Dragon Palace. I'll provide you with resources. I can give you these 14 metallic battle angels. My sincerity should be more than that of the peak races. At least you won't get too many precious treasures if you join one of the peak races. Wang Xian continued speaking to him. The technology of the technological world was still very useful. This could be seen from the fact that even the peak races wanted to recruit them. Moreover, the technology and battleships of the technological world were indeed very powerful. Wang Xian felt that he could complement the Fire Hammer race. Currently, the development of the Fire Hammer race in the Dragon Palace was also limited. The Fire Hammer race could only fight 2 levels above them. They were weak to begin with. Moreover, they were limited in terms of forging. Now, he had to change the direction of development. Forging and technology had some similarities. He could learn from them. Upon hearing Wang Xian's words, Lin Wenluo looked at the 14 metallic battle angels with excitement in his eyes. He had expended a large amount of resources to forge a war beast. However, the strength of a war beast was only comparable to one of the metallic battle angels. Among the 14 metallic battle angels, there was one of a higher level. This was something that he had yearned for in the past. Now, as long as he agreed to the Dragon King's terms, he could get it. He was a little tempted. Most importantly, he could keep his identity as a member of the technological world. All right. After much hesitation, Lin Wenluo agreed. He now knew that it was impossible for him to improve quickly by relying on himself. In fact, it wouldn't take long before the 8 scientists who joined the peak races would be much stronger than him. The terms offered by the Dragon King were much better than those offered by the peak races. Moreover, the Dragon Palace was also in the stage of development. If he joined, he would be considered a founding hero. He felt that he could take a gamble. With the resources provided by the Dragon King, he could build a peak race. His name would be the Technological World. Chapter 3755, Hehe, alright. I'll get someone to bring you back to the Dragon Palace later. But since you've joined the Dragon Palace, you'll have to sign a witchcraft contract. When you arrive at the Dragon Palace, I'll hand over some people to you. You'll have to impart all your technological skills to them. If nothing goes wrong, they'll be part of the technological world of the Dragon Palace. Wang Xian smiled when he heard Lin Wenluo's agreement. Lin Wenluo's eyes flickered when he heard Wang Xian's words. He was a little surprised that the Dragon King wanted to develop his own technology. I can impart what I know, but I'm not responsible for whether they can master it or not. After all, knowledge requires a long time to accumulate and experiment. Lin Wenluo said. Sure. Wang Xian nodded and looked at Wu Sha. And Lai will come to pick you up later. I'll leave Lin Wenluo to you. Yes, Dragon King. Wu Sha nodded immediately. After giving the order, he flew off into the distance. After flying for an entire day, he stopped. He did not leave the vicinity of the meteorite in the storm mainland. Instead, he found a meteorite and hid within it. Before he gained absolute power, he was not prepared to fight the Phoenix race and the Angel race head-on. Time to upgrade. Looking at the metal resources in the storage space, he smiled. He immediately began to upgrade the 5 elements grindstone and the Tai Chi dragon coil. With his help, the speed of absorption would increase by a few hundred times. Dragon King, damn Dragon King, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. At the same time, the sacred mountain of the Angel race in the 9 Essences universe was located in a special sacred mountain. There were palaces and buildings made of metal on the sacred mountain. It looked like something out of a science fiction novel. From within the palace, an enraged voice sounded. A golden old man came out from a box of nutrient solutions. His eyes were bloodshot. He was killed by the Dragon King. All of his resources, all of his great opportunities, had disappeared. For Crispy, his luck had improved after he joined the Angel race and entered the Starry Universe. Especially since he had encountered a great opportunity. To him, this opportunity was simply a great opportunity. He found a treasure land with a large amount of extremely powerful metal materials. Even the pinnacle races coveted these metal materials. To him, it was a great treasure. For this reason, after he obtained the metallic meteorite, he immediately put it away. He didn't dare to take it back because once the Angels found out, more than half of his metal materials would definitely be taken away by the Angels. That was why he always carried it with him. He had 13 second-order Sovereign Realm Battle Angels that he had personally created. Not to mention the third-order Sovereign Realm Battle Angel. Coupled with his Angel clan background, no one would be able to take away his treasures unless he was killed by a star behemoth. But he did not expect to meet the Dragon King. The Dragon King killed him directly and snatched away his opportunity. This caused him to be extremely furious, and the killing intent in his heart couldn't be suppressed at all. To him, this was even worse than death. That huge amount of metal materials could allow him to obtain a huge boost in power. Now everything was gone, gone. I want that Dragon King dead. I want that Dragon King dead. He roared madly, immediately taking out the universe AI to send this news to the Angel race experts, to the Third Prince and the others. He was even considering if he should pass it on to the Phoenix clan. After much hesitation, he decided not to send it out. He knew that the Third Prince had a huge feud with the Dragon King. The Third Prince would definitely tell the Phoenix clan. Chem. At the entrance of the World Passage, the Third Prince frowned slightly when he received the news, his eyes flashing. He hesitated for a moment, then immediately passed the news to the experts of the Angel clan in the universe. The Third Prince's strength was only at the 7th Order Universe Sovereign Realm. Although he was the Third Prince, the experts of the Angel clan whose strength had reached the 7th Order Universe Sovereign Realm were not people he could command. He could only pass the news out, and let some experts who were on good terms with him take action to eliminate the Dragon King. Of course, they still had to occupy the treasure land of the Storm Continent. The Dragon King's strength is rising too quickly, we can't let him continue to grow. The Third Prince stood there, hesitating for a full 10 minutes, then looked to the side. Elder, I'm going to enter the universe. In the end, he decided to enter the universe personally, and spoke to the elder beside him. Chem. Third Prince, you're going to enter the universe? The elder was slightly stunned, looking at him. Yes, I have some matters to settle. The Third Prince nodded and replied. All right, be careful, Third Prince. The elder nodded and did not stop him. There was no need to stop him either. The few outstanding heirs of the Radiant Angel King all had life-saving treasures. Take the eldest prince for example. Although he had fallen in the universe, he had been resurrected. The Third Prince also had life-saving treasures. The elder would not stop the Third Prince's actions. Let me eliminate the Dragon King personally. He flew towards the universe with a cold gaze. It was time to get rid of this trouble. Wang Xian did not know that his enemies, the Green River Aqua Phoenix and the Third Prince, had already entered the universe. He was not far from the Storm Continent, constantly upgrading the 5 elements grindstone and the Tai Chi dragon coil. Time passed, day by day, and he was not disturbed. The universe was so vast, and it was an unfamiliar universe to the experts of the Nine Origins universe. Trying to find a person here was harder than finding a needle in the sea. As time passed, good news kept coming in from the Dragon Palace. First, in the Fireheart Treasured Land, a group of fire attribute experts cultivated there. Among the 1,000 peak venerables, 10 of them had completed their breakthrough in a few thousand years, 10 more in a few thousand years. This speed was absolutely terrifying. At the same time, this also showed how terrifying the center of the Fireheart Treasured Land was. But 2,000 years later, 2 pieces of news suddenly reached Wang Xian. Similarly, these 2 pieces of news caused a huge sensation. The Phoenix Clan and the Angel Clan issued a kill order on the communication stone plate. Any expert or disciple of any race, if you encounter a Dragon Palace disciple and inform us of the Phoenix Clan, you will be rewarded with a drop of Phoenix Blood Essence. The reward depends on the level of the Dragon Palace disciple you find. If you find a Peak Venerable Realm disciple, you will be rewarded with a drop of First Order Sovereign Realm Phoenix Blood Essence. The Dragon King of the Dragon Palace killed an expert of the Angel Clan. Whoever encounters a disciple of the Dragon Palace will be rewarded with a Battle Angel of the same level. 2 pieces of news suddenly appeared on the communication stone plate. Chapter 3756. The Phoenix Clan and the Angel Clan suddenly issued a kill order through the communication stone plate, which shocked everyone. In fact, they had no choice but to issue the kill order. It had been thousands of years since the Phoenix Clan was annihilated. They had been looking for the Dragon King for thousands of years, but they couldn't even find him. Especially after the Xingjiang Aqua Phoenix entered the starry universe, it was like a headless fly. The Dragon King killed 200 of their Dominator-level fire phoenixes, but where could they find him? The starry universe was so big, and they didn't know much about it. How could they take revenge on the Dragon King? It was like looking for a needle in a haystack. For thousands of years, there was no news of the Xingjiang Aqua Phoenix and the Phoenix Clan. The third prince also encountered the same problem when he entered the starry universe. It was too difficult to find and kill the Dragon King in the starry universe. Apart from that, Dragon Palace, the old nest of Dragon Palace, was nowhere to be found. This made them extremely angry. Left with no choice, the third prince and the Xingjiang Aqua Phoenix decided to issue a kill order. Damn, the Phoenix Clan and the Angel Clan issued a kill order for the Dragon Palace and the Dragon King at the same time. They want to completely destroy the Dragon Palace. Hiss, it seems that the Phoenix Clan's revenge has really begun. Thousands of years have passed. The Phoenix Clan should not have found any trace of the Dragon King, so they issued a kill order. Even the Angel Clan joined in. Could it be that the Dragon King also killed the experts of the Angel Clan? The Angel Clan originally wanted to kill the Dragon King, but they didn't expect that the Dragon King would grow so fast and terrifying. The Phoenix tribe actually rewards the disciples of Dragon Palace with the blood essence of Phoenix. If you meet any disciple of Dragon Palace and report to them, you can get the reward. I have something to say. If anyone meets any disciple of Dragon Palace and reports to the Phoenix tribe, they will all die a violent death. I support the commenter above. The Phoenix Clan is a despicable clan. It's better if the Dragon King kills them all. I support the Dragon King. Kill the Phoenix Clan. Anyone who reports it to the Phoenix Clan is worse than a beast. After the 2 kill orders were issued, the entire communication stone plate and all the disciples in the starry universe were in an uproar. Thousands of years ago, the Dragon King had killed a group of experts from the Phoenix Clan. The actions of the Phoenix Clan had been cursed by countless experts and disciples. Now that they had issued the order to kill, the experts and disciples of the high-level clans once again spat out the Phoenix Clan's name through the communication stone plate, expressing their support for the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. Many powerful disciples even said that they would never report to them if they encountered disciples of Dragon Palace. This time, even the killing order of the Angel Clan was greatly affected. This was the first time in history. A group of damned ants. At the same time, in front of the Storm mainland, this place had been occupied by the Angel Clan experts. The Aqua Phoenix looked at the message on the communication stone plate with a cold look in her eyes. At the side, The third prince's eyes flickered. That Dragon King is improving very quickly. To prevent any undue delay, we should eliminate him as soon as possible. Right now, our priority is to eliminate the Dragon King. As for the Dragon Palace's experts and disciples, since the Dragon King has risen to such a level, their Dragon Palace should have a purebred divine dragon that has broken through to the sovereign realm. This might be good news for us. The Aqua Phoenix gritted her teeth and said. The third prince nodded. After a moment of silence, he said, "Let's wait for the news." Although those ants are shouting happily in the communication stone plate, they know how to choose. Okay. The Aqua Phoenix nodded and glanced in the direction of the Storm mainland. I'll go and gather with the other experts of the Phoenix clan. Inform me immediately if you have any news. Okay. The third prince nodded and stood there quietly. The Angel clan and the Phoenix clan have issued a killing order against the entire Dragon Palace. Wang Xian looked at the two messages with a cold look in his eyes. The message was sent by Prime Minister Turtle. Now that the Dragon Palace had more than 1 million disciples at the peak of the Venerable Realm, some of them had entered the starry universe. The killing order of the two pinnacle clans still had a great impact on the Dragon Palace. On the communication stone plate, although many powerful disciples said that they would not inform the Phoenix clan about the news of the Dragon Palace disciples, there was a high chance that they would inform the Angel clan. Moreover, some of the strong disciples might also inform the Phoenix clan. After all, the reward offered by the Phoenix clan was enough to tempt the experts and disciples of any high-level clans. The blood of the Phoenix clan, the disciples of the Dragon Palace might be greatly affected. However, Prime Minister Turtle had informed all the experts and disciples of the Dragon Palace about this matter and reminded them to be careful. After the 5 Elements Great Grindstone and the Tai Chi Dragon Plate breakthrough, I'll have some fun with the two top clans. Wang Xian's eyes were filled with coldness. As long as the Tai Chi Dragon Plate and the 5 Elements Great Grindstone broke through, then he would have the strength to fight against a 7th-order sovereign. At that time, unless the two pinnacle clans could send a large number of 7th-order sovereigns to surround and attack him. Otherwise, it would be wishful thinking to kill him. Wang Xian looked at the 5 Elements Great Grindstone and the Tai Chi Dragon Plate in front of him with a smile on his face. In 1,000 years at most, they would reach the 6th-order sovereign realm. Break through as soon as possible. With that in mind, Wang Xian began to help the Tai Chi Dragon Plate and the 5 Elements Great Grindstone improve. 1,000 years passed in the blink of an eye. Waves of majestic energy surged in the surroundings. A large grindstone emitting the power of the 5 elements with 5 divine dragons on it rotated slowly. Beside it, a yin-yang Tai Chi Dragon Plate also rotated, emitting the power of light and darkness. Wang Xian looked at this scene with a smile on his face. Breakthrough. Finally, another breakthrough. The 5 Elements Great Grindstone and the Tai Chi Dragon Plate had both advanced to the 6th-order sovereign realm. 2 great treasures, himself, 4 dark ghost avatars, and companion spirit. With his current strength, he could instantly kill a 6th-order sovereign realm existence. With my current strength, I can go head-to-head with the top clans. Wang Xian felt the strength of the 5 Elements Great Grindstone and the Tai Chi Dragon Plate, and a smile appeared on his face. His eyes flickered as he took out the communication stone plate and read through the various messages. He planned in his heart. The Storm mainland is occupied by the Angel clan. They should have made some arrangements, so I can't go there. Currently, in the Starry Sky universe, I have discovered some other treasure lands. Although they are not as good as the Fireheart treasure land, they are still very precious. However, there is another way, he muttered. Chapter 3757, Prime Minister Turtle, what's the situation in the past 1,000 years? Wang Xian took out the communication stone plate and sent a message to Prime Minister Turtle. Dragon King, we have about 500,000 disciples in the Starry Sky universe. In the past 1,000 years, more than 100 disciples were killed by the Angel race and Phoenix race. Dragon King, I found a problem. When the Angel race and Phoenix race encountered our purebred divine dragons, they didn't kill them immediately. Instead, they wanted to capture them alive. Prime Minister Turtle reported. Wang Xian's eyes flickered. In the past 1,000 years, More than 100 disciples had died in their hands. This was not a small number. One had to know that these were disciples at the peak of the Venerable Realm. More than 100 Venerable Realm disciples had died in the past 1,000 years. Even the peak clans couldn't bear this speed of death. Tell all disciples to be careful, especially those who have broken through to the sovereign realm. Wang Xian sent a message and looked to the front. His body moved and he quickly flew into the distance. This time, he flew towards a deeper part of the starry sky universe. As he flew, Wang Xian took out the communication stone plate and searched for some information. Level 1 danger zone, this is it. Wang Xian locked his eyes on the nearest area and flew over quickly. The level 1 danger zone was divided by the experts and disciples in the communication stone plate. The so-called level 1 danger zone was the territory of a first-order sovereign realm giant space beast. Because of the experts from the peak clans, this zone was much safer. Many experts and disciples from the high-level clans entered in search of opportunities. It was impossible for the experts from the peak clans to search every corner of the zone to kill a first-order sovereign realm giant space beast. If they were lucky, they might be able to find some treasures. In the past 100,000 years, there were experts who obtained the offspring of a first-order sovereign realm giant space beast. This kind of offspring had the strength of a sovereign realm giant space beast. To those who obtained the offspring, it was undoubtedly a great opportunity. Wang Xian flew quickly in the starry sky universe. Compared to the nine-source universe, the starry sky universe was too quiet. The number of living beings here could not be compared to the nine-source universe. After flying for a few months, he arrived in front of a group of life planets. The resources on these planets had already been taken away by other experts and disciples. He took out the communication stone plate and sent a message to the angel race. I met a dozen Dragon Palace disciples, just like when Wang Xian killed the angel race and the phoenix race experts. He used this method again. Didn't they say that I would be rewarded if I told them the news? What if I tell you the news myself? Wang Xian revealed a faint smile. With a swift move, he entered a habitable planet and exuded the aura of a divine dragon. This aura was so weak that some sovereigns and race experts could feel it. After entering, he waited quietly. On the communication stone plate, the experts of the angel race sent a message. They would rush over very soon. Wang Xian took a look and revealed a smile. Let's go. There are more than a dozen disciples of Dragon Palace. Killing them will be a great harvest. At the same time, 3 angels were flying quickly in the void, their eyes filled with excitement. Now, the angel clan had given the order to destroy the Dragon Palace. In the past 1,000 years, they had hunted down many experts of the Dragon Palace. The Dragon Clan disciples had Dragon Clan and the Dragon Race. Dragon Clan in dragons had dragon. All of them were pinnacle dragons or purebred divine dragons. The corpses of the pinnacle races were precious treasures. In addition, they often had the resources they had harvested in Starry Universe. This made the angel race experts more than happy to hunt the Dragon Palace disciples. After all, they could not kill the disciples of other pinnacle races. Indeed. Killing a Dragon Palace disciple is worth tens of thousands of years of searching, an angel said with a smile on his face. They flapped their 12 wings and flew quickly. A month later, they arrived at their destination. According to the position of the communication stone plate, this is the place. Where is the guy who sent the message? An angel looked at the location information on the communication stone plate and frowned as he looked around. I sensed the aura of a divine dragon, an angel said calmly as he looked at the location of the dozen or so life planet. Let's go over first. The last angel said as he flew forward. Be careful. That Dragon Palace should have given birth to a sovereigns. The other 2 angels reminded him and flew over as well. Haha, the Dragon Palace's speed of improvement is indeed terrifying. However, we have the angel army. Even if we encounter a sovereign realm divine dragon, we can suppress it. The angel in front said confidently. However, just as he finished his sentence, a laugh suddenly rang in their ears. Upon hearing this voice, they were slightly stunned and their faces changed. Swish. At this time, They saw a figure appearing out of thin air in front of them. That young figure was staring at them with a smile. The three angels narrowed their eyes slightly when they saw the figure that suddenly appeared, and they had grave expressions on their faces. 3 first-order sovereigns. What a killjoy. Wang Xian stared at them and said plainly, "You. Who are you?" An angel stared at Wang Xian with a complicated expression. When he asked this question, he had a guess in his mind. "Me. I'm the one who tipped you off." As Wang Xian spoke, his figure flashed again. In the next second, he was only 10 meters away from the three angels. "Oh no. Oh no, you're the Dragon King." When the three angels saw this terrifying speed, their eyes were filled with terror. "He's the Dragon King. He's definitely the Dragon King. Smart. That's why you guys are going to die." Soul capture. Wang Xian stared at them and smiled plainly. A surge of energy rushed into their minds. Soul capture. Originally, the success rate of using the soul capture on the pinnacle races was very low. This was because, as the pinnacle races, they had special protection in their souls. However, these three angels were still too weak for Wang Xian. The gap between them was still too big. The soul capture was successful. The three angels stood in front of him in a daze. "How many seventh-order sovereigns from your angel tribe have entered the starry universe? Where are they now?" Wang Xian asked as he looked at them with flickering eyes. Chapter 3758. 25 of our seventh-order sovereigns have entered the starry universe. Some are cultivating on the Light Core Island, some are in the Aurora domain, and some are looking for opportunities. With the help of the Soul Search, the three Radiance Angels revealed everything they knew. 25 seventh-order sovereigns? Is this the strength of the Angel clan? Wang Xian's eyebrows twitched violently when he heard this. This number had completely exceeded his expectations. Where is the Light Core Island? Wang Xian continued to ask the three Radiance Angels. Wang Xian knew about the Aurora domain. It was a special domain filled with light and darkness. It was a paradise for light and darkness attribute cultivators. As for the Light Core Island, he did not know its location. The Light Core Island is in the starry universe. We have a map here with markings. This is a treasure land that our angel clan has obtained. It will be of great benefit to us Radiance Angels. The three Radiance Angels replied. Wang Xian nodded his head slightly. Also, send an urgent message to ask for help from the Angel clan. Tell them that you have been besieged by experts from the Dragon Palace. You have fallen into a trap. There are more than 10 first-order sovereigns and 1 second-order sovereign from the Dragon Palace. Wang Xian pointed to the angel in the center and ordered. Yes. The angel nodded his head mechanically and immediately sent an urgent message. Very good. You can die now. Wang Xian waved his arm and annihilated the three angels as soon as he sent the message. The three angels were easily annihilated before they could even release their battle angels. Wang Xian closed his eyes and absorbed some of the information in their minds. A smile appeared on his face. With a wave of his arm, a storage treasure flew over from one of the angels' corpses. He opened it and took out a map. This map was drawn by the Angel clan. It was a map of the places they had explored. Wang Xian's eyes sparkled as he looked at it. This map was dozens of times more detailed than the one in the communication stone plate. Other than this map, there were also some resources and some battle angels. There were 3 angels and 12 battle angels. After sending the message, Wang Xian did not leave. Instead, he waited. 3 angels were attacked by disciples from the Dragon Palace. We lost contact after sending the last urgent message. At the same time, on an incomparably large island. The third prince sat cross-legged on a sphere that emitted the power of light, his eyes closed as he cultivated. An angel reported to the third prince. The third prince opened his eyes and asked, what message did he send? According to that disciple, he said that they were ambushed by the Dragon Palace. The Dragon Palace sent over a dozen first-order sovereigns and a second-order sovereign realm experts to ambush them. After the news was sent, his vitality disappeared. He should have been killed by the Dragon Palace's experts. The angel reported. Over a dozen first-order sovereigns and 1 second-order sovereign? When the third prince heard this, his eyes lit up. That dragon palace really did give birth to sovereign realm experts, and there are quite a few of them. The corners of Huang Xiaolong's mouth curved into a smile, and his eyes glimmered. Send 4th order and 5th order sovereigns to take a look. If they can find the experts from the dragon palace, kill all the dragons and suppress them with purebred divine dragons. As long as they can suppress them, this prince will reward them handsomely. It's the third prince. The angel nodded and replied immediately. In addition, send someone to pass on the news of the dragon palace disciples. Send 2nd order sovereigns and above to hunt them down. The third prince continued to instruct. Yes. The angel continued to respond. The third prince sat there with a smile on his face. He hesitated for a while before sending a message to the Green River Aqua Phoenix. The Dragon Palace has produced quite a number of sovereign realm experts. There should be quite a number of purebred divine dragons. This might be an opportunity for us. After sending the message, he waited quietly. This is indeed an opportunity for us. I will keep an eye on it. Not long after, the third prince received a message. He smiled faintly when he saw it. 3 experts from our angel clan were ambushed in front of us. A month later, 6 or 7 experts of the angel race flew over from a void in the starry cosmos. The one leading them had the strength of a 5th order sovereign realm expert. The rest of them were 2nd order sovereigns and above. This is the enemy that the third prince provoked. Now we have to deal with him. This is really, alright, let's not talk about the third prince's matters. The third prince has come to the universe personally to get rid of the Dragon King. I have to say that the Dragon King is really terrifying. His speed of improvement is too fast. If he continues to grow, I'm afraid the third prince will be in trouble. The 7 angels spoke as they flew to the front. They hovered in the air and looked around. I can sense that the 3 experts from our angel clan disappeared here. Let's go back and check on the experts from the Dragon Palace. In the center, the strongest 5th order sovereign realm angel spoke indifferently. Yes. At the side, an angel nodded and took out a mirror. They are here. At this moment, on a planet with life ahead, Wang Xian saw the 7 angels and sensed their strength. He smiled. Only by killing them would it be considered a small gain. Swoosh. He moved and appeared behind the 7 angels in the next moment. Wang. A wave of energy enveloped them instantly. Oh no. The 5th order sovereign realm angel was the first to react, and a look of fear appeared on his face. Too slow. A light voice floated into their ears, causing their hearts to beat violently. Fart. In the next moment, Wang Xian's dragon claw grabbed onto the 5th order sovereign angel and squeezed hard. Ah! A blood-curdling scream was heard instantly. However, Wang Xian sensed a gust of radiant energy that darted to the side instantly. In the next second, a 5th order sovereign angel with a missing arm appeared at the side. Oh! And a powerful life-saving treasure. Wang Xian saw the figure disappear in an instant and the terrifying energy enveloped him again. Dragon King, it's you. It's you. This is a trap. The angel roared with a face full of fear. You guessed it right. But if you want to blame someone, blame your third prince. My revenge has just begun, Wang Xian said plainly. Chapter 3759, Rumble, Rumble. As soon as Wang Xian finished his sentence, a wave of energy engulfed him. The crushing force of the energy caused his body to crumble. Ah! The 5th order sovereign realm angel let out another scream of despair. This time, he had no chance of resurrection. Wang Xian waved his arm and kept the corpse casually. He then looked at the other 6 angels. Run! The other 6 angels screamed in fear and despair. They wanted to escape immediately. One of the angels disappeared gradually. Obviously, he had a treasure that could allow him to escape in an instant. Wang Xian looked over and waved his arm. The power of wind and lightning fell on them instantly. Explode. 5 of the angels were instantly killed by the terrifying explosion of wind and lightning. The remaining one spat out a mouthful of blood before his figure disappeared. Hehe, do you think you can escape? Wang Xian sneered. He could sense that the last angel who escaped was 10 minutes away from him. However, he didn't need 10 minutes. Netherworld Dragon Pursuit. The unbeginning sacred wings on Wang Xian's back closed, and a dark force was unleashed from his body. In the next moment, his figure disappeared gradually. Netherworld Dragon Pursuit. This was the first time Wang Xian used this law. The Netherworld Dragon Pursuit was different from the Netherworld Dragon Transformation. When the Netherworld Dragon Transformation, it could instantly arrive at the location of the Dark Ghost doppelganger and replace it. As for the Netherworld Dragon Pursuit, it only needed to inject its energy into the enemy's body to arrive at the enemy's side in an instant. Huff huff huff. In the same space, the Fourth Order Sovereign Realm Angel that managed to escape was panting heavily. His eyes were filled with fear and relief at having survived a calamity. Damn it, that Dragon King is so terrifying. How did the third prince provoke such an enemy? He cursed with an ugly expression. He moved and was ready to escape. However, his eyes widened as he stared at the position beside him in disbelief. Beside him, a figure gradually materialized. That was the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. How can this be? He roared in disbelief. Crack, crack. But before he could do anything, he was grabbed by the neck and hung up. You can't escape. Soul assimilation. Wang Xian exerted the soul assimilating power. His body trembled and his pupils began to slacken. Bam! A few minutes later, Wang Xian waved his arm and killed it, keeping it in the mother nest. The harvest is not bad. Moreover, some of the experts of the Angel clan are somewhat dissatisfied with the matter of the third prince. Hee hee. A smile appeared on his face as he absorbed the information obtained by the soul-sucking technique. His lips curled up slightly. Some of the Sovereign Realm experts were unhappy that the Angel clan had become enemies with the Dragon Palace for no reason. Among the 7 angels, the strongest was a level 5 Sovereign Realm expert. His corpse could bring 100,000 peak venerable experts to the Dragon Palace. 100,000 was a lot. In addition, there were some resources, some treasures, and 3 carnate cardinal treasures. There was a carnate cardinal treasure that was very useful. It was a mirror with the element of light. It was capable of tracing back what had happened in an area of space and pursuing living beings that had gone back. This was a supportive carnate cardinal treasure that was comparable to the pursuit ability of a powerful magus. Next, it's time to change locations. It's time to change to the Phoenix clan. Wang Xian made a move and flew forward at a terrifying speed, disappearing into the starry sky. After the 7 experts from the Angel clan had fallen, the Angel clan immediately received news of their deaths. This made some of the experts from the Angel clan frown slightly. They were carrying out the orders of the third prince. It should be related to the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. They might have been killed by the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. Several 7th Order sovereigns discussed in the communication stone plate and passed the news to the third prince. When the third prince received the news, his face was a little ugly. 7 experts from the Angel clan had been killed. There was even a 5th Order Sovereign Realm expert among them. 70% of their deaths were caused by the Dragon King. The Dragon King had formed an enmity with the Angel clan because of the third prince. At the end of the day, this was all his fault. Damn it. I have to kill the Dragon King as soon as possible. The third prince growled in a low voice with an ugly expression. He could also sense the dissatisfaction of some experts from the Angel clan. Although he was the prince of the Angel clan, his influence in the Angel clan was lower than an elder. Some of the elders' descendants, some other powerhouses, and even the Dark Angels were naturally unhappy that he had provoked an enemy and implicated the angel race. Wang Xian did not know that the third prince had flown into a rage out of humiliation. He followed the map he had obtained and flew deeper for a few months. When he arrived above a meteorite, he took out the communication stone plate and sent a message to the Phoenix clan. Similarly, this information was provided to them as an expert from a high-level race in the universe, providing information about the experts from the Dragon Palace. After sending it over, Wang Xian waited patiently. The Phoenix clan did not know what had happened to the Angel clan. It was impossible for the Angel clan to spread the news that an expert from their side had been killed by the Dragon King of Dragon Palace or the Phoenix clan. They would keep such matters confidential. After he passed on the message, The Phoenix clan quickly sent experts over. 2 second-order universe sovereigns and 2 water phoenixes. 10 days later, Wang Xian saw the appearance of the 2 water phoenixes and immediately flew over to search their souls. The second-order sovereign water phoenixes could not put up any resistance. After dealing with the 2 water phoenixes, Wang Xian ordered them to send a message back to the Phoenix clan. It was a message about being ambushed by experts from the Dragon Palace. The difference was that they said they had been ambushed and were still holding on. Hang in there. We will immediately send the experts closest to you to support you and slaughter those damned bastards from the Dragon Palace. A message was immediately sent over from the Phoenix clan. Very good. Killing experts from the Dragon Palace? I would like to see who will be the one killing who. Wang Xian's eyes were filled with coldness as he read the message sent by the Phoenix clan. This time, he was going to have some fun with the Phoenix clan. Wang Xian could obtain a lot of information from them with the soul-capturing technique. With this information, he would like to see who would be the one killing who. Over 1,000 years, they had killed over 100 disciples from the Dragon Palace. However, he only needed to kill 2 second-order sovereigns to earn that amount. He would like to see who would be the first to give in. Be realistic in your acting. Attack me. Wang Xian ordered the 2 phoenixes controlled by the soul-capturing technique. Chapter 3760, Over Here. I can already sense the aura of our phoenix race experts in this starry sky. A dozen phoenixes were flying towards them from the void. There were 3 types of phoenixes, namely golden phoenixes, water phoenixes, and fire phoenixes. Soon, they saw 7 to 8 divine dragons besieging 2 experts from the phoenix race. The entire space was shrouded by the divine dragons, and the 2 experts from the phoenix race were struggling to hold on. 2 of our Phoenix clan's powerhouses are trapped. A water phoenix stared at the battlefield in front of him with a cold look in his eyes. Can you see the strength of those divine dragons clearly? A fire phoenix frowned as he looked ahead and asked. I can't sense their exact strength, but based on the energy they emit, they should be in the second-order sovereign realm. Kill them all. How dare they ambush our Phoenix clan's expert? A golden phoenix roared with murderous intent. Kill the experts from the Dragon Palace. How dare the Dragon King kill the experts from our Phoenix race? Let them die. The dozen phoenixes charged towards the battlefield without any hesitation. Hee. On the battlefield, Wang Xian congealed his energy into the form of a divine dragon and besieged the 2 phoenixes whose souls were captured by him. Seeing the arrival of reinforcements, he smirked coldly. Boom. With a wave of his arm, he killed the 2 phoenixes. A wave of 5 elements destructive energy swept towards the remaining phoenixes. What? Shit. The sudden change in the battlefield shocked the dozen phoenixes who had flown over as reinforcements. Their faces were filled with horror. Sensing the incoming energy and the instant obliteration of the 2 phoenixes, they had a bad premonition in their hearts. This is an ambush. Run. A 5th-order sovereign realm golden phoenix roared in fear as it flapped its golden wings in an attempt to escape. Swoosh. All of you shall stay here. Wang Xian flapped his unparalleled saint wings and appeared at their path of retreat. With a wave of his arm, the 5 elements grind shrouded them. The 5 elements grind, which had reached the 6th-order sovereign realm, enlarged and shrouded the sky above the dozen phoenixes. The terrifying millstone exuded an aura that caused the phoenixes to feel despair. It's the Dragon King of Dragon Palace. It's the Dragon King. The dozen fire phoenixes felt the despairing energy coming from above and felt the destructive power wash over their bodies. The golden phoenix's face was filled with fear as he burned his life force to resist. Around him, 7 or 8 phoenixes had already lost their lives. Only a few 4th-order and 5th-order sovereigns were holding on. That's right, it's me. Wang Xian sneered. With a press of his palm, the 5 elements grindstone descended. Our Phoenix clan will never let you off. Wang Xian did not even flinch as he let out a miserable cry. The last 5 phoenixes were easily killed by him. But soon, he noticed that there were phoenixes that didn't die completely through life-saving treasures. They should have revived somewhere. This feeling came from the power of the unbeginning sacred wings. The unbeginning sacred wings void lock allowed him to vaguely sense something. However, he didn't care too much about the phoenix's resurrection. After killing 2 fifth-order sovereigns and 4 world realm phoenixes, his harvest this time was quite bountiful. He kept the corpses and flew in a certain direction. This time, the 2 peak races should have guessed that the angel race and phoenix race had made a move. It would be difficult for him to use this method to kill the experts of the 2 peak races again. He needed to use other methods. Chirp, chirp, chirp. At the same time, in the Nine Origins universe, in a divine domain filled with parasol trees, flames, rivers, and mountains of gold were all emitting majestic energy. On one of the parasol trees, a young fire phoenix burrowed out of a shell and let out an angry cry. This fire phoenix looked like it had just been born, but its eyes were filled with anger and hatred. With a flap of its wings, a universe-intelligent brain appeared and it immediately sent a message. Whoosh! Very soon, an incomparably huge fire phoenix flew over and hovered above the young fire phoenix. Elder, it was the Dragon King who killed me. It was the Dragon King. The rescue from the starry cosmos was a trap set by the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. A dozen of our experts were killed by the Dragon King, he reported to the Fire Phoenix Elder in the sky with a face full of anger. The Fire Phoenix Elder's eyes flashed coldly as he nodded his head. After killing the experts of the Phoenix race and the Angel race, Wang Xian already knew what kind of existences the Dragon Palace would face in the future. However, since he had already made his move, he had no regrets. He flew rapidly in the starry cosmos. His target was the Aurora Domain. The Aurora Domain was another treasure land discovered by the experts and disciples of the Nine Origins universe. Although it wasn't as strong as the Fireheart treasure land, it was still a treasure land for experts with light and darkness attributes to cultivate. Wang Xian obtained some information from the memories of the experts of the Angel race. The experts and disciples of the Angel race were cultivating there. In terms of hatred, the Angel race ranked higher than the Phoenix race. All along, it was the third prince who sent his subordinates to deal with the Dragon Palace. The Aurora Domain was already in the depths of the starry cosmos. Wang Xian flew for a few years before he reached the front of the laser domain. This was a very special starry cosmos with unique meteorites filling this space. These meteorites emitted unique energy, and the energy of each meteorite was different. Due to the collision of the unique energy, the starry sky underwent a special change. The light here seemed to be tangible. There were black light and white light. The 2 types of light intertwined in the entire space. And these 2 types of light belonged to the tangible energy of light and darkness. These light could be absorbed, which was comparable to directly absorbing divine stones for cultivation. To experts with light and darkness attributes, this was heaven. After this place was discovered, a large number of experts with light and darkness attributes came here to cultivate. In fact, there were even 2 sovereigns born in this place. Wang Xian looked at the unique space domain in front of him. His eyes flickered, and the energy of darkness rose from his body as he flew in. Upon entering this domain, Wang Xian waved his arm and realized that he could grab the energy of light and darkness in his hand. It looked exceptionally mystical. With a thought, he absorbed it and continued flying forward.